Bam, 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 bam. Polk, it's good to see ya. But yeah, I'm 3Hams. You got stuck on level 10. That's why I have it as level select, and I'm probably gonna make it so that all you have to do is clear 15 of the 20 levels in the first area to move on to area 2. Which I have some of the mechanics programmed in. Oh, that's right. I've been working on changing sprites within my game, as well as making it so that when I add objects, it is not a nightmare to implement undo for them. And luckily it works now. It was very broken the other day. It was very broken. But yeah. Expect 3Hams that there will be other levels with other mechanics coming up. Don't worry if you can't beat 1 or 2 levels. This is just sort of how things go. You know how else things go? The way of the crappy. The way of the crappy. That sounds so dumb. Whatever. It goes crappy. So, Crappy, I need you to take us away. Go! Reveal for me! Are you not going to play your video, Crappy? I even asked you to. Crappy? Yeah, there we go. See, I clicked. I made a video for you to run across the screen in front of those 2 guys trying to land a record deal. That was a very... The Crappy came to America. Isn't that cool? Everywhere I look, I see Crappy now. Oh, I'm so happy that everybody was just sort of granted. Yeah, we came to the Apple Town, and it was all us gays who showed up. But you know what? We have people of all histories and backgrounds. I almost use, like, the transition from all of us gays. Okay, everybody, this is not the transition that I used, because I thought this probably isn't appropriate. It kind of is appropriate because I'm gay and I feel like I could get away with it. I was gonna say, but you know what's not gay? The Iron GM round. But actually it is. It is very, it's not straight, let me tell you. Ha! For the Iron GM, I'm gay, I can go ahead and joke about this, blah 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 blah. I love y'all. This program is very gay per chat, yeah, we actually have a large LGBT community here, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. We also have a lot of non-LGBT people, but who are wonderful allies. It's great to have all of you normal people. Yeah, all of you normies here. I bet you tweet about, like, the stock market and crap. You know what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to reveal the GM. So everybody, for the Iron GM round, we are going to, essentially... We're not going to do this. We already did this. For the Iron GM round, 3 GMs were presented to the players. They could either choose the same person or different GMs per a secret vote. If both of them chose the same GM, that's who they got. But if they chose different GMs, then they ended up with the one that neither of them chose. That GM ended up crying a whole bunch and choosing probably the worst game ever. And by probably, I mean probably not. There's only one worst game ever. I don't know what it is. We may have had it on this channel. But with that said, what GMs could they choose from? Well, first off, we had Iron GM, more like belongs in the trash. That is our friend. Can you reveal it, please? Thank you. Our friend Liz Star. Aw, no, you believe in the... Like, if you belong in the trash, you belong in my trash because you are super cool. The second GM they were given as a choice is Iron GM Mash 'em Up, the scary, terrifying Mr. Torture, and finally... No, I didn't want to make that disappear. Iron GM, the other one! It is... Time Wanderer. I'm relatively sure that is the correct name. Well, let's see who the players chose. Of course, Julo opted for our Mr. Torture. Yuge decided to go with Lizstar, which means that Time Wanderer is our GM for the first match. Come on in, Time Wanderer. Come. I've got some gossip. Okay, I've heard it's good gossip because it's gossip from me. Hey there, how you doing, Timerer? Stop it. I just immediately say your name and then I tell you to stop it. Hello, how you doing? If you're talking, I'm not hearing ya. I can't hear ya. Timer, where are ya? Can you hear me? Where are you? Hello? Time Wanderer, Time Timer is typing. Oh, apparently Time Timer was able to hear me, but not able to talk to me. Technical difficulties. Whatever, your mom is a technical difficulty. Ha! Ha, you like that, huh? Hey, can you speak now? You know what, everybody? We're gonna go ahead and use ESPN, and we'll check what the sports say. I've heard a rumor about a game in a city. Except, wait a second. It's not actually like at a stadium, it's just in the streets. In very poorly maintained streets nonetheless. Holy crap, ESPN, what are you channeling to me? These are bad streets. Is what I'm oh no. I have a bad feeling that this isn't a sport at all. Instead, it may be a cutthroat competition between people just trying to duke their way downtown. That's right, everybody. We have a game that I personally like quite a bit. Bad Street Brawler. Yeah, Time Wanderer, don't worry. I have a feeling you will show up in a little bit. Yeah, this is a Power Glove game. Guess what they're not using? Probably the Power Glove. I don't think either of the players has one. But if they did, then this would be pretty spicy. We've got 1 full hour of exciting Power Glove adjacent action. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, I actually really love this game. I think this is a game that is both over and underrated somehow. It's like one of those games that everybody should play, in my opinion. It's not good, but I love it. And everybody, I think we're going to have some great tunes here. We'll go ahead and let Time Wanderer figure out microphone issues and get started just a little bit after I'm actually able to talk to them. I would love to have some conversations. Oh my gosh. More importantly, though, we've got Captain America and the Doom Tube playing here. By the way, thank you everybody who subscribed. We do give out over $2,000 worth of prizes for Kusog7ande, and honestly, every little bit that you give helps a great deal. If you want to sub, that's great. If you're like, hey, I don't want Amazon to take my money, then you can also go ahead and leave a tip through PayPal. I have information listed. If you go to my Twitch channel and scroll below the feed, there is some information there. But honestly, anything that anybody is able to contribute goes a long way for me. Because
No.
Oh my gosh, I hear you.
I did it.
How?
I turned off push to talk. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to brawl.
Yeah, so this isn't quite a nuke game, but I did have the contestants in this particular match turn down my first 3 suggestions.
Okay.
So I was like, well, you like to call this the bad video game tournament. So why wouldn't I provide something that's, so bad?
You know what?
So-
Even though this is so bad, I kind of love this game. I'm not gonna lie.
I played it for a little bit and had fun, but for like the wrong reasons, and I was like, that's good, Kuso. Good Kuso. So
I think
I'm
this
excited
is
about
one
this.
of the most enjoyable beat 'em ups I've ever played. I gotta be honest. Which
will
is
stop-
not knocking this.
I will stop short of that, but it's a fun bad game. I hope that our players have I hope they don't dislike me at the end of it. On the other hand, they did rage pick me and then veto 3 of my games, so I don't want them to have too nice of a time.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? I fully support people choosing a game that they want to give out. I fully support our GMs giving out something that is possibly, this is one that I possibly would have chosen if the player said that they love me, but I've also got a very twisted sense of humor.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so chat, we're gonna have to see what you two, there aren't just 2 people in chat. Oh my gosh. My brain.
It's okay. We're gonna have a good time.
Well, we're gonna brawl.
Someone's gonna brawl, or So one thing that I think is really cool about this game is that I didn't give them any information about this. I don't think they'll need it. It is a beat 'em up. You walk to the right, but they do change your moveset in each stage.
Oh yeah. That's something that the players will have to figure out. Honestly, it happened quite a bit in old school games, and it usually happens without warning, and this is something that can lead to a very easy loss by some of the players, so we'll have to see if they're able to figure it out. With that said, the players are ready to go, so what are good sprites or emotes for chat to spam?
If anyone has anyone who looks vaguely like this guy, your discount Duke Nukems, anything involving the word bad.
Bad. Anything that you think is bad or really, really cool. If you have any vests, emotes,
or Karnov.
Or Karnov, yeah, spam now, spam, because we are beginning. I want to see all of your emotes. Yeah, look at them. Oh, there's an egg with sunglasses.
I mean, it's not technically Karnov, but I mean, it's close enough.
Some of these sound like Battletoad sound effects. Okay. Yeah, I recognize that sound effect pretty much. Who made this? Was it Rare?
It was, Mattel published.
Oh, no, that's not a good sign.
Well, Mattel made the Power Glove, and this is one of exactly 2 games ever made to utilize the Power Glove. The other one was Super Glove Ball, which I think was made by Rare. This one...
Yeah.
Hang on, I got it up here.
I have everybody telling me it's Beam Software that made this.
That's correct. Beam Software.
Thank you, Beam.
I mean, I don't know if thanks is the most appropriate thing.
I'm gonna say no, I love this game, okay? Speedruns of this game are hilarious, and it's just ridiculous that right now the players are killing a gorilla. And they are thrilled.
A gorilla who indeed throws bananas at you.
Then you throw items into the dumpster. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, so when you beat the enemies, they drop an item that is, relevant to them. And we have the trip. Everyone please enjoy the trip attack, which just looks like a gentle caress on the ground.
Yeah, how is that tripping somebody? I guess it works.
Well, I mean, they are on the ground. I can't look at it. Can't look at it and not laugh.
It's true. It's true. Okay, a little buffering, but I will refresh the streams probably in a little while so that, you know, if we do have any other lag, we can just deal with it later. Hey, guess what, timer? Last night, my power went out, and along with it, the internet was down for a while, and I was like, do not do this to me, Comcast. Don't you dare do this to me again. I will scream. I will scream so loud.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that it came back.
Yeah.
Because I'm currently dealing with like 50-mile-an-hour winds in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And got a whole bunch of warnings of like, hey, don't go outside. You might get hit with like a stop sign. Well, and maybe your power will go out. These two are synced up right now.
I am not too surprised. This game, like, if you play aggressively, you can actually make a lot of progress very quickly in this game.
Yes, and someone in chat asked if the meter at the top is progress. Yeah, you basically are just... I mean, it is the bare essential of beat-em-ups, where it's just go as far to the right as you can.
Oh, yeah.
And every once in a while, you'll get stopped, and you'll have to fight a couple of things, and then you just keep moving to the right. So you can actually move through this pretty quick. I mean, there are a finite number of lives, and enemies do get more difficult as you go on. But I wouldn't be surprised to see... Uh-oh. Julo Ninja's having some...
Julo, what did you do? Julo.
I mean, the game's still working. Maybe it will fix itself.
Well, maybe. You never really know.
I mean, luckily we're only 3 minutes into the game, so...
Okay, there we go. It's fixed. Don't worry. It's just visuals. Normally...
It was just that...
Yeah, normally...
It was that one stage.
That generally happens when it comes to, like, hardware, the cart being slightly, like, moved or tilted, especially during gameplay. It messes the sprites. So for an emulator to have that happen, that means that something janky is going on in this game. Now, with that said, what happens when you game over in this game? Because there are finite lives.
Yeah, you start over.
Okay.
From level 1. So, as far as I know, there are no continues. You can gain extra lives, but there's, I want to say, like 15 or 16 stages. If someone really just took it this game and ran through it, we could see a completion, but because there is a hard game over, and I think you only have like 3 lives, I'm not really expecting that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Also, a fun feature of this game, you know how like sometimes in a beat 'em up there'll be someone who throws like an explosive at you, and you're just like, okay, well make sure you guys already got a game over. So yeah, we're gonna see that. Yeah.
Wait, but you get continued?
Did they? Oh, you can continue.
Yeah, looks like it.
So, okay. Well, I'm exposed. It's almost like this was like my 4th choice today, so I wasn't as prepared for this one as the other ones.
That's all right. Well, everybody, if you're wondering, some of the people who worked on the audio, I'm looking at this, by the way, and the NES credits up on Moby Games only have credits for 5 different people who worked on the audio, and that's it. I don't know about the graphics. I don't know about any other part. They're probably credited for, like, the DOS version or something else. But, yeah, Andrew Davey was one of the programmers here. David Pentecost. The artist worked on other games like The Three Stooges. We have Battle Chess. Back to the Future Part 2 and 3. Which are great. Wait, Back to the Future... Oh no, the LJN one. The auto-scroller Back to the Future. Yeah, that was developed by Beam Software.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
So I love these. I love them.
Yes, chat, by the way, the character's name is Duke Davis, unless you look at the back of the box, at which point it is Duke Dunnigan.
Duke Dunnigan?
For reasons. But all you need to know is that he's cool. Look at how cool he is. Look at how much he wants to clean up the streets. I was talking about explosives earlier. Normally, someone like throws a grenade and it has like it kind of blows up in its immediate area, and you just sort of like, well, better not get in the way of that. In this game, if someone drops a bomb, it is like a full screen attack that is like unblockable. So the only way to get away from it is to like leave the screen, which is not always possible if you're actually in a screen lock. So those are fun.
By the way, chat has a very important note. This was before Duke Nukem. So it's possible Duke Nukem stole from Bad Street Brawler, but there was also another Duke Nukem before the Duke Nukem game series, if I'm not mistaken, a Marvel character.
Oh, maybe? Was it before the side-scroller Duke Nukems?
This was definitely, like, side-scroller Duke Nukems was in the 90s. Oh, apparently Captain Planet had Duke Nukem in it. Yeah, that's right. Captain Planet's basically a comic.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, this looks like this was probably the original Duke.
The first Duke.
Yeah. This is Duke Nukem Origins, where you reach down to the ground and you tickle it, and then people die. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Just, hey, you know what? If you win a fight if you're gonna win a tickle fight, then...
He wanted to say hi, Mom.
He wanted to say hi, Mom.
And Yuge on to stage 4. I'm honestly very confused about how far the players are. Is Julo Ninja on stage 5?
I think I have not been paying attention, but we'll find out when they clear another stage, because it'll tell us.
Yeah, mind you, there are only 7 stages, so this may be a fast clear.
I thought there were like 15. Maybe there's multiple stages of each
6th Avenue Park?
Stage 6.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, never mind, I might be wrong.
There are other versions of this game.
No, it's just
known as Bop and Rumble or Street Hassle if you're in Europe or playing on a personal computer. And those versions are different in ways that we won't talk about because they're not appropriate for Kusog7ande.
Yeah, what am I looking at? Like, nothing. Yellow diaper? Is there a yellow diaper? Are there bright yellow boots?
I don't know about the character's color scheme, but you know what? He's doing it.
Okay. Let them laugh at Duke's diaper. No, this is like the type of shorts that you wear when you're playing basketball.
In this era, specifically.
Yeah, or
like
if you were...
The late 80s, early 90s shorts era.
Yeah, or if you were John Stockton. Because he always wore these, even after the other shorts got normal. He was like, let me wear my super short shorts. That's pretty great. Oh no! Julo Ninja has a basket brawler here. Woo.
Yuge just had an incredible like stun lock combo where he was just juggling 2 different people off the wall with like a headbutt combo. It was amazing.
Nice.
That was fantastic. Julo Ninja is absolutely is fighting a tiger.
Okay.
I don't even mind telling you, I didn't make it this far.
Oh really?
I played up through like stage 5 and I was like, yeah, this is good. But also that took me like 45 minutes.
Okay.
So
I do see that there are 10 stages. The 10th stage on 10th Street. No, there's 11th Street, 12th. I don't know. Never mind. I'm having a hard... Okay, 15 stages total. I'm dumb. We're gonna go ahead and... Oh no! Julo Ninja, the motorcycle! He just ran you over! Hate when that happens.
Incredible! I think that's Julo Ninja's first game over.
He-Man! He-Man is in the credit... Or, He-Man is in the top 10. Who the crap is Darren, though? Freaking Darren? Probably one of the programmers. Let me see. that was pretty hilarious. But yeah, it looks like there are continues, and they may be unlimited. With that said, this will still give the players a decent chance to get a full clear. I think that we could see some completions if they learn how to cheese, which is the most important part of any beat 'em up. If you learn the attack that kills everything, then you use that over and over. Really good beat 'em ups will generally have enemies immune to that attack. And I'm not sure if this game actually does that, but you do have a ton of different moves in this game.
Well, that's the fun thing, though, is like, you can come up with a really good cheese strat that will work for one stage, and then they will shuffle up your moveset, so you have to find a different cheese for every stage.
Yeah, but how many stages can you tickle the ground? Because that's really good.
It's a really good, like, the quote-unquote trip is an incredibly powerful move, because not only does it, like, incapacitate them and do a lot of damage, but I think you're invulnerable during it.
I love this. It's so dumb. Tickle the ground, everybody. It looks like Jillo Ninja is past that level, moving on to the next. Throw all those guns into the dumpster. You know, why not? I'm like a hamburger instead. Oh, I'd like a hamburger instead. I read it, I'm like a hamburger instead, and I'm like, what does that mean?
That's the proper place to dispose of guns.
The dumpster.
Just throw them in the dumpster. No one will find them in there.
Well, like, it really depends on the lore. Maybe there are no police anymore. It's just your job. I gotta find the lore for this, okay?
I don't know how much lore there actually is. I had a game prepared. It was my second choice that was going to have outstanding lore. And we were going to read through it and have a great time. But now I can't talk about it because I'm going to give it to somebody else later.
Well, okay, here, I've got the story for you. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Law-breaking crooks. Thugs and circus renegades rule the mean streets. It's a real zoo out there. The city is unsafe and the good citizens live in constant fear. You are Duke Davis, former punk rocker and the world's coolest martial arts vigilante. You are a lean, mean, thug-thrashing machine, returning to your native city streets as the ultimate defender of freedom. There's evil waiting behind every bush and danger lurking, not looking, it might be looking a little bit. There's danger lurking behind every corner. Look out! It's up to you to send the bad guys reeling with furious fist and foot-bashing action. It's non-stop martial arts madness. Nail the no-gooders today and watch the street savages scatter. There we go. Okay.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening after Circus Renegades. I could not get past that.
Yeah, you little circus renegades. It's basically they're bad people on the streets. You gotta clean the streets up and turn them into, like, places that are safe for average citizens.
Yeah, it's my favorite version of this in a beat 'em up is in River City Ransom, where the resolution is like you beat up all the gangs and they went back to school and became honor students.
That's so good.
It's like, yeah, if you just punch everybody, then then everything is fixed. Everyone goes back to being good again. That's how that works.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. Did I punch? I punched 2 people when I was in junior high. And that's all of the violence that I've done. But they left me alone after that, so it was great.
So it did solve the problem. Did they become honor students?
No. Actually, one of them, yeah, he was voted most likely to finish an associate's degree before high school. And I think he did. So he became an honor student, but the other one, no.
Well, 50% is pretty good. Although Yuge got ran over by that motorcycle and then pulled off a really nice jump kick to clear that stage. We have I believe they're on the same stage now.
I really love that when you die, it plays the Carmen music. I don't know the words in Spanish. I just remember the Gilligan's Island theme where they're doing Hamlet, and all they have is music from the opera Carmen, and they're like, "Be not a borrower nor lender be, do not forget, stay out of it. Think twice and take this good advice from me. Guard your own sovereignty. There's just another thing you ought to do. To thine own self be true." It's one of the best episodes of Gilligan's Island. You gotta go watch that episode of Gilligan's Island when they do Hamlet. It's so good.
You know what's really funny about that is that there is like weirdly an element of truth to that. Like back in like the 1700s or so, the like when operas, maybe before that, I don't have the time periods, but there was a time when operas were being imported from like different languages. Like everybody knew the songs, but they didn't know what the story was that the opera was actually like belonged to. So they would just basically take really popular songs from different operas and just mash them all together, and nobody cared what the story was because everyone just wanted to hear the popular songs.
Yeah, like going to the opera, that's one of the important things for an opera, is that you really don't have to understand the words in the songs in order to understand the story, because in fact they'll usually at the opera have the full story written out in the pamphlet that they give you, so that like you're not sitting there talking to your neighbor being like, what's happening? What is going on? But operas are also like super over the top in many ways, and if you listen to an operatic song without seeing the show or having something to read, it's usually in a different language that you're not going to be able to understand. Honestly, the story for an opera is usually just there to be an excuse. Nobody really cares about the story. The story is the excuse to have an opera.
Right.
Yeah, whereas
musical song to song.
Musicals are there in order to like the story is just as important for a musical. Yeah. Musicals are not modern operas. Here's the difference, okay? What matters more for a song, if it's the words, then it's a musical. If it's the melodies, then it's an opera.
To me, the difference between a musical and an opera is whether they ever stop singing. Like, is there a point where there is like spoken dialogue?
Most of the time, one of the differences as well is that for operas, generally the songs continue to move the plot of the story forward, whereas musicals, the songs often push the pause button on the action in order to have the musical number. So if you're having a pause in order to have a musical number, then it's probably a musical.
I can get behind that, but also I don't feel strongly about this. So,
yeah, I mean, Les Mis has songs that will keep the story moving forward, but there's still the breakout songs. Like, we didn't need Master of the House in Les Mis, right? But it's one of the best songs, and it does literally nothing to move the story forward. Absolutely nothing. What else? On My Own? That does nothing to move the story forward. It's just pausing in order to have one person sing a whole bunch. Then you get freaking operas where it's like, oh, okay, well, I think there was a murder in the middle of that song. Okay. And I don't remember any of the words. Like, if you go home, like, remembering any of the lyrics, then it was probably a musical. But operas,
point out,
I was in an opera, okay?
Oh?
And in multiple musicals. I've performed in both of them, and let me just say, Like for Gilbert and Sullivan's Trial by Jury, the lyrics, hark the hour of 10 is coming, hark, like nobody's gonna remember those freaking words, or, then again, Gilbert and Sullivan, they're just amazing, but like, it's such highfalutin English as well.
Yeah.
That's part of the purpose as well. Also, another thing: operas are generally aimed towards high culture, whereas musicals are more pop culture. That's another difference. Except for rock operas, which are rock culture.
I just realized that both Julo and Yuge have full game over.
Yep. It appears that there are limited continues in this game, so hey, thank you, game, for telling us that. I didn't know.
This is good because I told the players that for my earlier choices, I had a whole text document with instructions and tips and a bunch of stuff they needed to know, but for this, I was giving them nothing. And that was totally a purposeful decision based on the fact that I wanted them to figure everything out, and not at all because I didn't know as much about this game and was unprepared to give it to them. So it's good that they learned that there's limited continues, because I most definitely didn't know that. Or did know that. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm no longer concerned about an early clear.
People are asking, is Phantom of the Opera an opera or a musical? It's a musical about an opera. I would say that some of the individual numbers within Phantom of the Opera are indeed operatic numbers, but they are performed within the play within the play. Very Shakespearean of them, thank you.
That's very meta.
Well, I mean, come on, they were doing that since the 1600s. It's nothing new.
I mean, it's still meta.
Yeah, just because it has opera in the name doesn't mean it's an opera. Let me go ahead and say that.
This is true.
Yeah, Les Mis, not an opera. It's a musical. It's not aimed specifically at high culture. It's aimed at pop culture. Let's see.
Why...
Yeah, go ahead.
That's why you end up getting people singing songs from Les Mis on, like, America's Got Talent every year.
And then Susan Boyle shows up, and it's like, oh my gosh, Susan Boyle, okay, I love you, but, like, the whole reason you became popular was because, oh, ugly person sing good.
Man,
culture has changed so much over the last decade or two. It's just...
that trend annoys me so much because, like, it shouldn't be a weird thing that people who are not conventionally attractive are talented. But, like, every time someone shows up and isn't conventionally attractive and, like, oh wow, they can sing good.
I should
How
do
surprising.
That. What if I just showed up and, like, I could be wearing all this gamer gear and just, like, have, like, super big glasses, and then I could go ahead and do some opera for them. I don't even have to be good. I just have to be semi-decent. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just like, oh wow, how surprising. Someone who doesn't conform to, like, mainstream beauty standards actually has a talent.
Yeah,
it's like, actually, that should not be a big deal.
And then again, I think that it's more common for ugly dudes to be accepted as talented. But then as soon as you have somebody who is... Yeah, we've got terrible double standards. You do not have to be attractive to be a dude in a musical, but it seems like you have to be attracted if you're a lady. And it's dumb. Yeah, the end.
You think Duke Davis can sing?
I don't think he can walk. I don't think he can trip. Question. So one of the main features that people have talked about is that every level has different moves that you get. Is it random which moves it gives you?
No, I believe you get the same set of moves for each stage, and some of them are recycled, but you get different sets of moves. Yeah. So, like, generally what you have is up to jump, by the way. Forgot to mention that. So you have
Wow.
one attack that's mapped to. You have one attack mapped to A, one attack mapped to B, and one attack that's mapped to both, and then up to jump.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
what attack you get on each button will change per stage. And there's 15 stages, so it's not like there's 45 different moves. You do get like some of the same moves per stage, but I think you get different moves set. So like one stage you might have like the jump kick and the trip or something, and the other one you might get a trip but with the I think it's called the Stooge punch.
Yeah.
Where he literally does like the windmill punch and his arm goes all the way around and bonks him on the head.
Oh, I love
So
that.
you get like different combinations of moves per stage.
Yeah. Okay,
Which is really
actually pretty
interesting.
neat. I love that.
It's interesting because it kind of forces you to at least somewhat use your whole kit. Like there's a move that might be your cheese move in one stage, or maybe you have a good combo where you can like knock them back with one thing and then do damage with another. But then you don't have that in a future stage, so you have to figure out how your different moves connect together.
Yeah. Oh, we're having some really interesting conversations in chat about musicals. I'm sorry we're not able to address all of those because we're watching Duke run around and punch people in the face, which is, the main part of the stream here today. I do want to say, Dolwolf brought up an interesting point that ugly dudes do sort of get more roles, but also they're often typecast and don't have counterparts. And I will say there are plenty of good musicals where that's not necessarily true. I mean, heck, bringing up the Thénardiers again in Les Mis, you have you have the father or the guy and his wife, and they are pretty. They're villains. And at least in my imagination, they're pretty dang ugly, and that's why Les Mis is great. They can take, like, the worst people in the world and make them funny, and it's just so good. Someone is saying that's one version of Little Shop of Horrors, Seymour, was a little bit too attractive. I personally don't care if somebody is too attractive or too ugly. That's not really, like... When it comes to casting, if they can act and if they sing and if their singing matches the part well, then that's great. Oh yeah, another thing, difference between musicals and operas is that most of the time operas don't care if your voice matches the role. They only care if you're a good singer. You do not have to act. Like, if you're putting character into your voice in an opera, you're doing it wrong. You just have to sing well.
Yeah?
Yep. So there you go. Opera. We don't.
I defer to you on this because this is something where like you have distinct experience with this, and I have less.
Haha.
to say the least.
Yeah.
My wife is a musician, but like I've never been in a. I used to play trombone, but I've never really sang. So musicals are kind of a black box to me.
Dolwolf is saying that opera super cared about giving heroic roles to sopranos and tenors. Well, yeah, they don't care about giving main roles to somebody who can act. They give main roles to people who can sing.
I think.
Or with musicals,
Okay, so-
you have to do both.
So
There may be a lead
because-
change.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out because I don't remember how far they made it on their first playthrough before they full game over.
Okay.
But I think that Yuge, if I'm reading this right, is a stage ahead on this attempt, and I think they're both. I mean, just looking at their scores, they're definitely both trending towards making it further on their on this attempt. So I think. I'll go back and check when we're done, but I think whoever makes it further on this attempt is probably going to be in the lead at the moment. I don't know that there's been a lead change yet, because Julo may have made it further than where Yuge is right now on his first attempt, but I don't think that's gonna hold up. I think they're going to both reach a new high watermark on this attempt. At the same time, I know Julo is on stage 7. I think Yuga is on stage 8, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably find out again, like, right now. Stage 8? Yep.
Stage 8!
Ta-ha!
Okay. Oh, Julo is game over. So this could be, I believe Julo Ninja was in the lead on the first attempt. As continues, but this is a good opportunity for Yuge to make some extra progress. Although he is also on his last life.
I'm really enjoying the music, and sorry, I'm also slightly distracted. I don't want to fill up the commentary here with opera versus musical because we can let that happen in chat. Y'all can keep talking about it, and I'll occasionally drop notes there. But I love that in video games, before the Super Nintendo, you also didn't have to have conventionally attractive characters.
I think they were trying to.
I would say, like, NES era is about where they tried to start making people hotter. But before that, they're like, this character has, like, an 8x8 sprite. We're just gonna make them look like they are a creature of sorts, okay? Yeah. And as long as we can do that, then we'll find some other excuse. We'll be like, oh, this is a hugely deformed Bob, and that's just his character. His character is deformed Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like in some cases they would just lean into it. It's just like, oh yeah, you're some ugly guy named Ned. And that's who you are, and you're going through this adventure because you're just some random dude.
Yeah. And I'd say that, like, before the NES, when you go and read lore for any, for any story, most of the time it's like, oh, you are this 80-year-old grandfather who somehow had his head switched with his butt. Yeah, this game is called Grandpa Butthead. And, you know, that's just, you have to run around as a head on a butt, and you have to collect these cookies. Yeah, we're gonna call them cookies, even though they're just like, they're sugar cookies because they're just round in a single color. So Grandpa Butthead and the Cookie Quest.
Yeah, genuinely curious if you would play Grandpa Butthead in the Cookie Quest, because I definitely would.
If it was on the Atari, absolutely. And if it was on the PS5, I would have to have a PS5, but absolutely. You know what? Let's just go ahead. Let's file that away into possible game jam ideas. Grandpa Butthead and the Cookie Quest.
I love that.
Yeah. I have been talking with at least one other GM about potentially participating in a game jam because I can actually make games now, timer. I've learned.
That's super cool, and I'm really excited to see. I haven't really seen a lot of what you've been working on, but I'm like really excited to take a look at it when I have some time.
Yeah. I think. Well, I mean, except for the fact that people are coming over and visiting, I want to get my sprite swap stuff finished up, but no, instead I'm doing Kusog7ande today. I have to watch Bad Street Brawler, possibly the best beat 'em up on the NES.
No, I want to argue with that, but like, there's not a ton of competition.
This game is really janky, though.
It really is, but like, beat 'em ups didn't get like really good until like the next console generation. At least like on console, like in arcade, they were getting really good around this time. But most of your Streets of Rage and your Final Fight and your Turtles in Time is like a generation past this. There are better beat 'em up games on the NES than this, but like not a lot. Double Dragon 2 is good. That's true.
Yeah. Double Dragon 2, I mean, there's also... Let's see, this is Bad Street Brawler. There was also Bad Dudes, Battletoads, which... I love Battletoads, but it's really, it depends on who you ask whether or not that's considered good. People are bringing up Renegade, Mighty Final Fight, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I haven't actually played that one on the NES. I mean, River City Ransom is a beat 'em up.
Okay, that one is actually really good.
Yeah, how many of, like, there were a lot of beat 'em ups on the NES. I'm sorry, Time Wanderer. True. Not as many where you could tickle the ground, though.
No, there's only one beat 'em up where you can do the trip tickle.
Kunio games. I mean, technically, like the volleyball game that has the Kunio characters, that's almost a volleyball beat 'em up. Like, no, that's Super Dodgeball. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah.
Like, technically not a beat 'em up, but it's got beat 'em up energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I think the reason that, like, it's hard for a lot of people to think of beat 'em ups is because they really became a lot better starting in the Super Nintendo era. Arcade was definitely where they first shined. Anything before Super Nintendo on console was very hit and miss.
I think just Bayou Billy qualify as beat 'em up. I think that if Bayou Billy's a beat 'em up. If Battletoads qualifies as a beat 'em up, then Bayou Billy qualifies as a beat 'em up.
Yeah, Bayou Billy is so freaking hard, but I would call it a beat 'em up.
Because, like, the thing with Battletoads, which I have, like, hot takes on, but the thing with Battletoads is it has, like, really fun beat-em-up mechanics that it then basically abandons after Stage 2, for the most part. And so then it becomes just, like a precision platformer for the most part.
Battletoads is, like... Every stage is super different, but I think that, like, that experimentation was really worth it. And
it was cool. It just, like, it's so like unnecessarily punishing.
Yeah, I've never actually beaten Battletoads. Like, as a kid, I made it all the way to the river stage.
Pretty good.
Like, I actually don't think the Turbo Tunnel's all that bad.
It's overblown. It's just pattern recognition. I honestly think, like, I played the Super Nintendo Battletoads a lot more than the NES one, the Battle Maniacs.
Yeah. And
that one's only got, like, 6 stages, but everything after the Turbo Tunnel is impossible.
Ha! I love it. Yeah, I see somebody in chat saying the Turbo Tunnel is about the 7th hardest level. That's about right, yeah.
Yep.
And honestly, I think that Battletoads would have benefited from, like, actually going back to the style of Stage 1 and... Like, Stage 2, the descent in there was so much fun, but because, like, it starts with beat-em-up energy, it really should have returned more to that. But I also appreciate them, like, experimenting. I love when devs can experiment and just do, like, the weird stuff that they want to do. Good job, Rare.
I also like that a lot. Did you play the remake / reboot that came out a couple years ago? Of Battletoads?
What did it come out on, and what's it called? And I'm gonna say no, I didn't.
I think it's just called Battletoads.
Nope, I didn't play it.
It came out on, like, Steam and everything. Xbox, maybe?
Did you try it?
Yeah, I played the whole thing. It's actually pretty fun. It got a lot of bad press because it's got, like, a very Saturday morning cartoony art style, but it kind of works for what it's going for. It was cute.
Oh, people ragging on stuff because the art style isn't exactly like they remember it as a little baby, huh? Yeah, I hate this because art. At the same time, I have to visually like something that I'm playing. I can understand. It's, like, not really something that you can control. You sometimes just have a physical reaction to, like, I don't jive with this. doesn't matter how good a game is if it makes me feel physically nauseous looking at it, and even if there's no reason for it, I might take a while to actually get into it.
Yeah, I totally, like, I like to say that I don't care about graphics. And like, oh, it doesn't matter what the game looks like, but that's not true. Like, you can look past it if there's a game there that you really, really love, but if you're trying to get into a game and you're just not jiving with the look of it, it's gonna be really difficult for you to, like, give it the fair shot that you want to give it.
Oh, yeah. And...
Also, Julo Ninja's on stage 10?
Julo Ninja's doing really good. That's about 2/3 of the way through.
And Yuge is moving on to, I want to say, stage 9? We're going to find out in a second.
One thing to... Yep,
yes.
Stage 9. One thing to keep in mind, by the way, when it comes to a race, a blind race like what we have here, really, what you want to consider is how do you consistently make progress, not how do I speed through this as quickly as possible. Consistent progress is more important than sporadic fast progress in a lot of cases. And with this game, I think just learning each stage which move you are going to be using the most is very important. Julo Ninja using this elbow attack a lot, and it seems to be one of the most effective attacks in this level.
Yeah, and damage mitigation is really important too, because even if you have lives and continues, it's really easy to just get kind of wombo comboed around, especially with these like spinning saw blade guys.
Yeah.
I think he's like he's doing like some,
that's a full game over for Yuge. There's enough time for Yuge to get back into this. Full game over for Julo Ninja as well. I think they just want to make a good push, and honestly, you know, keep an eye on their score. If they don't get a game over, their score will keep going up, and odds are if they hit like 10,000 points, they may get an extra life. Keeping track of what allows you to have a good push is very important for a game like this that has limited continues.
Yeah, exactly. When you're trying to make progress in a game where your progress can be reset, then like definitely taking it safe is, and making sure that you can make consistent progress without taking too many deaths or too much damage. I think your health resets at the end of a stage, so as long as you get to the end of a stage without losing a life, then you can start over with full health in the next stage.
I believe you're correct. Another thing that helps you out as well is paying attention when a heart flies up into the sky that's actually extra health. You'll want to grab that in order to keep your health up, especially earlier on in the stage.
And sometimes the little guys in the trench coats will drop these little wing-looking things, like on Yuge's stage.
Yeah,
he comes on and that's the health refill. But sometimes they also drop bombs. So
yeah, if they drop bombs, then tickling them is a decent way. Was that a banana on wings?
Yes.
Is that good or bad?
Well, you kill the gorilla, and then the banana goes to heaven.
Okay.
And then you grab it, and you keep it from flying away, and then you throw it in the trash can, and you get points for that.
You throw their soul into the trash?
That seems to be the case, yes.
Okay, I kind of like that.
It seems like basically everyone has a weapon, and then essentially because you are cleaning up the streets, when you take them down, you see you guys throwing things into the trash can.
Yeah.
So you take their weapons and you throw them in the dumpster where no one will find them and use them ever again.
Ever again.
And for the gorillas, that's a banana, which is not so much cleaning up the streets as it is just food waste.
So per the manual, occasionally that will heal you, collecting the weapon that flies up from the bodies of those you just murdered. So that can be something worth collecting, but doing it consistently can also be an issue. Okay, Yuge hit the bomb away. Very nice. Honestly, early on, I feel like for these early levels, it's fine for them to be a little bit riskier because Honestly, you're just trying to catch back up to where you were before. But
Yeah, and
if
I
you die
believe
too much, that's really risky.
Yep, Yuge pushed too hard and took a death there, which not only takes a life, but also pushes you back to the beginning of that stage. You can't start from where you died. So you end up in this situation where, like, you have to be aggressive, because if you can push to the end of the stage without losing a full bar of life, then you'll save some time. But if you push too hard, then you die and you start over, you lose a life, and that costs you way more time than you'd save by being too aggressive. Now, they've surely gotten the 15 minutes to go notice, so they're both probably going to be pushing a little bit more than they normally would to make it a little bit of extra progress. I do think the Julo Ninja, if I'm reading this right, I believe Julo Ninja got to stage 10 and Yuge finished at stage 9. So Julo Ninja, I believe, is currently in the lead, but with 12 minutes left, and they're both on at the end of, I want to say, stage 3 or 4.
Yeah,
there's time.
They're basically tied. With that said, Julo Ninja still has the lead. For anybody who's new here, by the way, what we care about is who made the most progress on a single attempt. Even if they get game over, they still set the high watermark, and that is what matters for this match here. Not if they, at the end of time, have the best attempt going, but if they did earlier on, that's what matters here.
Julo has cleared. They're both on this skateboarder boss with very low health.
No, Yuge! Oh, that is a little bit of a heartbreaker. At the same time, I still... Like, Yuge has a good possibility of showing us if there is a 1-up due to getting 10,000 points, which yes. I would be inclined to think so. With anything that is NES era or before, points often actually matter a whole lot, especially with extra lives, so always keep these things in mind.
Yeah, and I think that with the amount of time we have left, they both only full game over twice. I think they have enough continues to basically just keep brute forcing these stages. So the bigger issue at this point is that if you die on bosses, you end up losing time in having to redo the stage.
Yeah,
I think that's the bigger issue. I think that's the bigger issue now than not having enough lives, because they should have enough continues, I think, to keep them going through the end of the game.
There was a full health refill right before the boss on Yuge's screen, by the way. A guy, a tiny man in a trench coat just ran out and gave a full health refill, and I like him. What a good guy.
Yeah, they do that. Sometimes it's a full health refill, and sometimes it's a bomb, and you don't know what it is till it comes out. But if it's a bomb, it just hits the ground, and then you can tickle it off screen, so it's not like it hurts you on contact.
Okay, Yuge, come on! Yuge, if you want to beat this round of Kusog7ande, you've got to kill Skateboard Boy. I'm sorry, it's like the Hunger Games, but with Skateboard Boy. Well, we can watch Julo and see if there's a 1-up from 10,000 points, but yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, that's rough. Yuge, like, it's still open, but Julo Ninja has the lead and is ahead on this attempt, so Yuge needs to start making a really strong push right now.
Yeah. Honestly, it's going to be very difficult to move into the lead at this point. Not impossible, just difficult. And just, like, learning how to do the fights consistently, that's what you've got to do in this match. Considering that you have different movesets every single level, that can be a little bit frustrating to learn. But, you know, that's the challenge of Kusog7ande, just figuring out what's going to give you your best attempts here. And it's something, like, I've talked about this on the GDQ Hotfix Grudge match, that there are specific skills that you can work on developing as you learn how to play games. But it's also something that, like, some people are naturally going to be a little bit better when they first start. For me, I've only recently gotten better at playing games blind. In a race setting, I'm really good at choking, let me tell ya.
Well,
Okay,
I'm,
Jilo Ninja, 2 lives. This is hitting 10,000 points right here. Is that enough to get 3 lives? Let's see if there are more lives now.
do we have 3 green orbs?
4?
4?
Okay.
Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, it'll show all of the lives, and then one will disappear when you start the stage. So yes, 10,000 points is an extra life.
That is a bizarre way to show, like, your kind of 0 life state. It's like, it gives it to you and shows it on the UI, and then takes it away when you start the stage, like you're spending one. That's... I mean, it's not that I've never seen it before, it's just odd.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, honestly, I can sort of see how, like, a little thing like that could be very annoying to program just right. And once it works well enough, I can see them just be like, we're done. We're done with this. I'm done with that stupid UI thing. Nobody is even gonna care. So let's just call it good.
Mattel told us we had to make this to sell their Power Glove. Just make it work with the punch move, kind of.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, everybody, we are in the last stretch. I do apologize if I sound like I'm not paying as much attention, because that's going to happen as I get things ready for the next match. Yeah, go ahead, Time Wanderer.
I'll change it back to make it easier.
You don't have to. It's funny.
I like it. Yeah, don't want to call the match prematurely, but you guys really struggling with this stage, and particularly the skateboard boss. Julo is just tearing through. I don't know if there's enough time. Hang on. I think the big guy in a trench coat came onto the screen and opened his trench coat, and then outwalked a smaller guy in the same trench coat. I hadn't seen that before.
That's kind of cool. I didn't know that's how they had babies. Nature's beautiful.
That's how it goes on the bad streak.
It certainly is. Let me know, Time Wanderer, if you aren't able to see what I'm doing, or if you're not able to see the game anymore, because I'm going to be doing some adjustments to other screens, and I want to make sure that you can still see the game just fine.
You're fine. You can you keep doing that. It did switch for me, but I'll just watch on the stream feed. That means I'll be a little bit behind, but that's okay. The game does not change that much from minute to minute.
Yeah.
I do think not to call things prematurely, but Julo is really just like crushing this game right now. This particular like sort of pompadour enemy that has this whole thing where I think he kind of like goes into a ground spin, and then his hair is like a saw blade.
Yeah.
That appears to be the attack pattern. Light work for Julo. Moving on to stage 8. So the situation, as I understand it, and I will check the VOD to make sure this is the case. Julo, I believe on the last attempt made it to stage 10. Yuge made it to stage 9.
Okay.
You guys just full game overed.
Oh
so,
no, there's almost not going to be any shot at this point then. That is...
Yeah,
that's the way the Kuso crumbles. Ugh.
As long as I have, as long as I've got their high water marks, where I think they are, that might be it.
Okay.
And now I think Julo, at the rate Julo's going, they might beat their previous high water mark. They're on stage 8 with about 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is
just kind of
really good.
Through it. Very impressed. Again, I made it to like stage 4 or 5 in like, 45 minutes of testing. So
yeah,
that's why I'm here and not in brackets this year.
That's all right. I have tried before to play well in Kusog7ande, and guess what? It kind of is hard.
It's a little hard.
Yeah, I've only been in one of the tournaments, although everybody, I want you to know, we will be having a GM-specific tournament in the future, and that is going to be a lot of fun.
Very excited about that.
Yeah. Okay. I've got almost everything. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being patient with me, because I actually almost have stuff set up. It's a miracle. Everybody, Christmas is here. Not the Christmas you know and love, my other Christmas. That apparently is on March 25th. Heck yeah. But yeah, the GM bracket, we will probably get going on that in a month or so, especially as matches start to slow down. And between this tournament and the next one, we'll probably also have some one-off matches between people that will be a lot of fun. So, like, we're gonna keep doing a lot more 1v1 matches from here on out, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, this is great. I'm having a delightful time.
I'm glad. It's always good to have you.
Also, have a clarification on why Julo's screen was glitching in earlier stages.
Oh yeah?
Apparently there is a particular move in one of the stages that if you overuse it, it corrupts the RAM and crashes the game.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
Because sure.
That's just games for you. Games are hard to make. Source,
you know
I
what?
am making a game.
I blame the Power Glove.
Power Glove, Mattel.
And specifically, I blame the players for not playing on Power Glove.
Honest,
this
yeah.
This wouldn't happen if we were playing on Power Glove.
Well, that's because they wouldn't make it this far.
Probably true.
Sorry, spoilers. This game's kind of hard. It's kind of hard without the Power Glove. I honestly thought that we might see a game completion, though, but I guess maybe I was just a little bit too... I won't say that I expected more from people. It's just that maybe this game is harder than I thought.
What it comes down to is, like, it starts out where you can just kind of run through the stages really quickly. There's like 2 or 3 screen locks per stage. And other than that, you can just kind of run past everybody. But some of the enemies that you run into, they have like iframes, they run on screen really fast, they can kind of juggle you around. So once you get later into the game, you have like way less margin for error.
Yeah.
So like they both ran through stages like, you know, up to like stage 4 and 5 in like the first few minutes, and I was starting to sweat a little bit. And then once they got to like stage 7, 8, 9, things slowed down significantly, and then they started getting full game overs, and then I was like, okay, we have an hour here.
Well,
speaking of which,
that is the hour. We are done. Time, everybody, or Tim, as we like to say in my community. It is Tim. Guess what? That's a follower emo. All you have to do is follow in order to spam Tim. Oh my gosh. Well, we can breathe. Both of the players pausing real quick. Let me go ahead and welcome them in to come and chat if they would like. Join General Voice if you want. I get to type that out every single time. But with that said, it's very clear Julo Ninja took the victory here. Yuge taking second. We'll let them know in just a second when they're here. And it looks like Yuge is in. Hello there, Yuge. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing fine.
Good.
It was actually kind of fun playing this game.
I love this game. It's not, like, it definitely belongs in Kusog7ande, but I love this game.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the skaters, I would have liked this game.
Yeah.
But I had fun with it, at least.
Yeah, I think that, like, learning how to cheese each individual enemy, it's helpful, but considering that it also makes you use different movesets each time, makes it a little bit trickier, you know?
Yeah, but I kind of like that gimmick. It was a fun gimmick to figure out the timing of all the different moves that you were forced to use.
Yeah. With that
'cause
said, oh, go ahead.
The moves are all very different. It's like it would have been very easy for them to just do different animations on moves that kind of do the same thing, but they all have different like amounts of damage they do, ranges, timings. So you really have to kind of adjust your playstyle in each stage.
Oh, absolutely. Especially the elbow drop. That one has a super large range, so you really need to judge your distance.
Yeah, with that said, it does look like your opponent for this match did make more progress. Julo Ninja made it. How far was it, time?
I have to check the VOD, so like call this unofficial results, but I believe Yuge, your high watermark was stage 9.
Yep, end of stage 9.
Julo Ninja made it to stage 10 at least.
Yeah, it was actually fairly close between you two for a long time, and there were a couple lead switches during the match. Yeah, I think both of you, with how even it was, ended up doing a pretty good job. It's just that I think your opponent managed to figure out how to deal with those stupid skateboarders, which were wrecking you guys, like, later on. Holy crap. Oh, there's Julo.
Yeah.
Let me bring Julo in. Hello there. Oh my gosh. Julo, congratulations, and it looks like you took the victory here. Hello. Okay, never mind then. Fine, just leave. I see how
That's all we
is.
needed to hear.
Okay, Julo's back. Maybe this will work. Hello there.
Hello.
Julo, yeah, let me just confirm, because we believe that you made it to stage 10. Is that right? Or did you make it past that?
It was stage 10, yeah.
Stage
I made it to
10.
the boss and died.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
So I think that it's pretty much confirmed that you took the victory today. Good job.
Oh. That's a surprise. I thought
Uh-oh.
my wreck.
Everybody's always surprised.
This is Kusog7ande. Whenever you feel like you're in... Well, it's sort of one of those things. If you're struggling, odds are your opponent is as well. Especially when we get into the bracket, it seems like matches are a lot closer than they were during the group stages. And honestly, you both should feel really good about how you did. Like, this game is dorky and weird, and just learning all of your different movesets for each level can be confusing, but you both did really well. Yuge was saying, though, that he was struggling a little bit with the skateboarders. Was there a way that you learned how to deal with them, Julo?
On certain stages, yeah, but it was... I mean, that last part, I was just getting destroyed by the double skaters, but
Yeah.
They had a bit of a distance where they would do their actual attack, and they'd crouch in a different way, so you knew when they'd jump and when they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ended up working out pretty well. Like, watching the timing there. One other thing that, like, I saw that Julo benefited from, and I'm not sure if Yuge caught this or not, was that there is an extra life system in the game. When you hit 10,000 points, you get an extra life. And
yeah, the long run I had where I didn't lose a single life until I think stage 5 or 6.
yeah.
At that point, I saw that I rack up some extra lives.
Yeah, so was it part of the pressure towards the end that, like, the time pressure that caused you to die, like, on your last attempt, Yuge? Because I know that you were having a lot of deaths there, and I believe it was just the time pressure that was, like, pushing you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When I suddenly realized that I had probably 1 or 2 tries per stage if I wanted to get a PB, then it was just trying to give everything and be a bit more risky.
Yeah, and I think that's worth it. It's just this game punishes you, like, quite a bit.
And that was the right move. You both set your high watermarks on the second attempt, and honestly, it was so close. You were almost like in sync for the first like 5 to 10 minutes or so. And even your game overs came at like relatively similar times, like within a minute or two of each other. So you were really close to each other throughout. It was just Julo made it past stage 9, and I forget what it was that that finished you in stage 10. Was it the motorcycle or something?
I don't remember either. I was laughing a lot throughout that, at, like the aeroplane
Really?
stuff, all the sounds.
Why so?
It just made funny sounds. So I sat next to that sandbag and just did it a few times each time.
That's so
I was
good.
laughing at it.
Like, this game...
Fun.
Oh, Yuge, I don't know if you ran into this, but Julo Ninja had some sprite issues. And
Oh,
like
yeah, there was
sprite
visual-
corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I didn't see anything like that.
yeah, do you know what was happening there? Julo Ninja, do you know what caused that?
I have to assume some sort of overflow or underflow with the scoring system or something weird.
I believe it was related to one of the moves that you had in that level, and that if you had kept using it more, there's a possibility the game would crash. So, luckily you either died or beat the level before you caused the crash, so that was good.
It is apparently the bull rush.
The bull
that,
rush,
if-
okay.
If you use it too many times, it starts to corrupt the RAM and then can crash.
Wait, but I think I had it happen with a different move as well.
Really?
It may be multiple moves.
Yeah, I think there's another move.
This is what you get for not using the power glove.
Yeah, so
Right.
if you want to play this without the risk of the game crashing, get yourself a power glove. That's the message here. With that said, I really enjoyed this match. It was a lot of fun. Yuge, are you up to much of anything these days? Are you streaming right now, or anything else?
I'm continuing on my PC Engine quest. So I'm currently playing through Dragon Spirits.
Okay.
And yeah, the goal is to beat every single PC Engine game, regardless of region, in chronological order.
Oh, that's cool.
Really cool.
Yeah. I honestly have not played a whole lot of PC Engine games. Like, I've played a handful. I got through level 30 of the easy difficulty of Pac-Land, and I'm going to go ahead and consider that a win.
Sure.
Yeah, but, like, there are so many games there that are high quality that I just want to go and play sometime.
Yeah, that's the main motivator for me as well. Realizing that the TurboGrafx part of the PC Engine is like 100 games out of a library of 700 games. And all
Yeah.
are really like 16-bit prime time games. So I just felt like, no, I want to go through this library, and why not stream it while I'm at it?
Yeah. Well, good. What about you, Julo Ninja? Are you doing anything super exciting these days?
Not right now. I'm sort of at the usual point of not a lot of streaming, sort of between tournaments and stuff, because that's...
I sort of understand that feeling. Yeah, I've had that happen myself. Well, that's all right. Are you playing anything offline that you've really been enjoying?
Enjoyment is hard to say. It's a lot of grinding times down, which I
mean, that's fair enough. Oh, the grind can be really annoying. And I sort of agree. Like, I kind of stop speedrunning some games when I stop really enjoying what I'm doing. But seriously, it's really cool to see people who are willing to go and just keep doing that grind. Well, good. Question. Do you both play in the mystery tournament?
yeah.
Okay,
we do.
because I know that there's this event happening, the Mystery Fun Fest 2, and I think today or tomorrow is the last day to sign up, but I'm not 100% sure. If you go to funfest.mystery.house, there's more information there, and it specifically says that it starts on the 31st, and you need to register before the 28th, so we're getting close to the end of that. I signed up for it. I'm really excited to try this out because I didn't play in the first one, but I will be playing in this one. And if other people here, including those I'm talking to in voice or those in chat join, we may be put on the same team, and then I can make you lose. So come join me in our very sad loss that we may have.
I played in FunFest last year and lost, and it was still a great time.
Glad to hear.
It's very fun.
I forget which team won that. I also played in FunFest 1 and I'm in 2.
I think Koopa's won, and I was a Koopa, so I think I won.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good job. Are you both playing this year?
Yes.
Well, cool. Good. We're all gonna... I don't know whose team I'm gonna be on, but that'll be a lot of fun. And if you are my opponent, then good job. You may have already won. But the lucky thing about this Fun Fest is that you, whether you are more of a casual player or somebody who gets really into events, you can sign up and tell them how much you're sort of expecting to play, and then they try to divvy things up in a way that makes it fair. So that, you know, if you don't play as much, you're not screwing your team over. You're just sort of playing how much you said, more or less, you'd be able to play. So sign up if you just want to, like, play a little bit. Just say, I'm not going to be super active. And then if you are more active than expected, good job. Yeah. So that's my little pitch. Join the Mystery Fun Fest 2. People see Jolly Boy. There are a lot of good creatures here. I love Baba. I think I'd rather be on Baba's side than Spike Mole. I don't like Spike Mole. It's kind of ugly.
Well,
Spike Mole seems well defended.
Yeah, he was determined, like, near invincible. Because he has defenses in all directions.
Yeah.
That matter.
That makes sense. That's actually really good. But Baba is me.
Until, you know, Spike is win.
Yeah, oh my gosh, change Spike to win. Then, you know what? There's no chance that Spike Mole can win. Like, holy, he's surrounded, but he can't touch them. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at that nerd. I love it. Okay, anyways, I'll go ahead and let y'all go. Thank you so much for an amazing match, and I will see you all next time. Take care, friends.
Yeah, take care too.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye!